Hey, what up, church fam? Welcome to the church channel. Welcome to another episode of H.Y.P.E, Holy Yutes Promoting Education. And today we have a young man who is doing well in not only his church, but academically he's doing well. And he's here to share his story with us. Not very often we hear young men who are very strong spiritually and also doing well academically. So when we have platforms like this, it is important that we highlight their success and what they are doing, not only for the kingdom of God, but also in their social and academic life. And who am I talking about? None other than Tyrise Bingham. So he's here today to share with us his story. So stay tuned. Hey church fam, so I take it for granted that you have already subscribed to the channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and click the subscription button, click a like button as well, and also share this content with someone. So guys, as I said before, we are here to listen to the story of Tyrise. Tyrise is a young man who is doing well. He's a student of the University of the West Indies, and he's a very strong and committed young Christian in his church. And guess what? When you look at this young man, you can see that God is doing well in his life. It's just an amazing thing, and he's also a trendy young man as well. Look how the man cut him dead, man. Yeah, man, we see promise and greatness on him. So Tyrise, tell our audience something about yourself, something that probably the average person wouldn't know about you.
Well, it's funny. I just the other day I learned how to ride a bicycle. Because I had a grandmother that didn't believe that I should pass two light posts that were in the community, right? And based on it was based on how the community was. So I wasn't allowed to have a bicycle. Neither was I allowed to ride the bicycle of any other person in the community, right? So I have two friends that have helped me over the quarantine period to actually do that. So it's pretty amazing. So I guess most persons don't know that.
Yeah, that's really weird for me, because a Jamaican youth, at what old are you now?
21.
At 21, cannot ride a bicycle. That's just weird. That's really weird. But of course, like he said that he had a grandmother because of and I'm assuming that it is violence of the community.
Yeah,
that,
most definitely.
Yeah, she was afraid of allowing you to go out. So I can say that you were one of those young men that grew up in home. You were one of those street youth.
Yeah, man, most definitely. I have my grandparents. I live with my grandparents for all my life, and they have basically they're traditional, right? Grandparents. The tradition is for kids to stay in school, stay at home, go to church on a Sunday. You see what I'm saying? And that's just basically it. So you can say that some of my morals and my norms they're built on their tradition.
Wow, and that's good. That's really, really good. And I think that is what is missing now from society. That generational gap between that generation, your grandparents' generation, and your generation. It's obvious, and it is we are lacking mentorship now because
Definitely.
of that gap. And I think that is a real problem in society. Which church do you attend?
Salt Spring New Testament. Salt Spring New Testament. Best. The best. Not in the West, in Jamaica.
I want you to share with us too your academic background. I want you to tell the audience from your basic school right up to where you are now academically.
Alright, so first off, it started at Cornwall Gardens Basic School, and that is in Mount Salem. I think one of the reasons why I went to that school, sir, is because my aunt has been a teacher there for so many years, and then went on to infant school. That's the Montego Bay Infant School, then Cornell, the primary school, then Cornwall College, most definitely, right? And then I'm now at the University of the West Indies, right? So it has been a journey. Sitting here thinking about it now, I can definitely say that God is good. It has been a good journey. It has been trust me, a lot of hardships and struggles, right? And so many times when I feel as if I didn't have it, right? But the grandparents that I had, and also the support from other family members, it was impeccable. So I can definitely say that God has given me these two wonderful persons, my grandparents, and they have basically said, all right, from Cornwall Garden Basic School onto UWE, we have to be there for you. Maybe not financially, but we have to be the moral support. We have to be the backbone to say, Tyrise, you can do it, good job. Keep on pressing on. So I'm really happy for them, and for the journey. I can say that the roughest part was grade 10 to 11, and then now transitioning to UWE first year. Wow, that's all I can say. Wow.
All right, so you spoke about your grandparents. How involved were your parents in your life?
All right, so for me, to tell the truth, Uncle Dermaine, it was rough with my parents. They had split when my sister was born. That's a lot of years ago. All right, and I can say that they have been there for me, but maybe not how I would have wanted, right? And I think that is still affecting me, right, up till this day. But as I said before, the grandparents that I have, they don't allow for me to feel neglected at any point in time. So it is hard for me to look in somebody's eyes and say, I didn't have parents, or I don't have parents that care about me, because my grandparents have not allowed me to fall short of love, right? Going home and seeing a hot cooked meal, waking up in the morning and smelling some eggs fried with some nice minty and things like that. So I mean, if I should look at a person and say I don't have parents, or I didn't have parents that were there for me, I really think I would be lying. So I try not to go on that topic.
I'm really happy that you said that though, and when I look at who you are and the person that you have become and becoming, it is something that is commendable, because oftentimes that's an excuse that is used in society today. Persons oftentimes will say that, I didn't grow up with my parents, I grew up in single parent home. Sometimes persons are saying I grew up with my grandparents, parents living abroad and so on, and they use those to feel that it dampers on their academic life. And I'm not saying that it doesn't for some persons, because it affects some persons psychologically, and not everyone is as strong as you. But sometimes persons have issues with that. So probably somebody is having that issue now in high school, probably, or perhaps heading into college now and wondering, how do I do this because of the psychological impact of not having my parents involved in my life? What can you say to those persons to encourage them?
All right, first and foremost, and I thank you so much for that question. It comes with intrinsic motivation first, right? Oftentimes, people in general, they depend on others to basically be the motivational factor in their life, right? What I always tell my friends, and I always tell people that I knew the value of $1 from grade 1, right? And it is because growing up with my grandparents, I noticed that we didn't have it, right? So that basically motivated me, right? And to encourage somebody, what I would say is that just dig deep in yourself. Just dig deep in yourself. Sometimes we don't dig enough, right? And we want to, just as you said before, we want to blame society or have petty excuses about our failures or not being successful enough in life, right? It's simply because we are the persons who lack pushing ourselves, right? And when you have that I call it a deficiency, can I? When you have that deficiency in in your life, when you don't have that self-confidence and that motivation, that is where you will see failure slowly creeping in, right? So what I could say to a person to encourage them, it's to just tell yourself that you can, right? Find the things in life that you want to see becoming successful with you. For me, it's my grandparents. Every day I think about sending them on a cruise to Paris or something like that, and I will never stop until I do that, right? So find what drives you, because my grandparents have done so much for me. I can now say, all right, I want this for them. Sometimes it's not even myself, it's for them, really and truly, because they have invested so much in me. And I know that persons may not have that those persons like I have my grandparents, right? But sometimes we have these persons and they drive us, right? So all we have to do sometimes is to just find that person or that thing, that motivation, and hold on to it and use it as your driving factor while motivating yourself.
Yeah. And I really like that, Tyrise. I really like the fact that you're saying that it's important to don't focus on the negative, but to find that, if it's even that one positive thing in your life, that one thing that is going good for you, and just use it as your motivator, use it as your strength, apply it to your life. And every time you think about giving up, or you doubt yourself, or wondering if I should continue, you make an effort to remember that thing, and you just push yourself even further at it. I really like that, and that is really commendable, because oftentimes as society we are forced to focus on what is not going right in our lives. What we need to do is to find that positive, no matter how small the positive is. We just find it and just make it big to us, because it might be small to society, but it's something that is big to you. Your grandparents, other persons that probably have their parents, that have other persons involved in their life. Grandparents might just say, oh, grandma, grandpa. But to you, it's a big deal, and they are your motivating factors, and you are doing well. You are currently at the University of West Indies, West Jamaica campus, or Mona?
Yeah, West Jamaica campus.
West Jamaica campus. What is it like after transitioning? Because I've had some friends from Cornwall College. I'm not a Cornwallian, but I have a lot of friends. Majority of my friends in Montego Bay are Cornwallians. And I know the pride that comes with that school. I do know the pride that comes with Cornwall College. Let me start with Cornwall, instead of going on the university.
Sure, no problem.
What was it like being a Cornwall College student? And like I said, I know society view you guys. I know how the girls look at you guys as well. And you have been a Christian from that time?
Yeah.
Cornwall time?
I have been a Christian from the age of 9.
From the age of 9?
Yeah.
What was it like being a Christian in Cornwall College?
Honestly, roughest thing. First and foremost, you're around great white sharks. You're around sharks.
Are you talking about Mount Alberta when you say great white sharks?
No. I'm going to refer now to the guys. Right? We can't think about Alberta later, but you're around great white sharks, and the thing about it is everybody there is great. In that context, it's they feel as if what they have to say, right, should be taken into consideration, and anything that you have to say, especially for the bigger sharks, right, what you have to say, no man, they're going to ensure that you shut up and you listen to them. So I say that to say, the pressure, peer pressure, it's a big thing, right? Peer pressure is a big thing, right? And it is easy to succumb to a lot of negativity, right? Especially at that level, right? Because you know that boys are now finding out themselves to be men, right? And in finding yourself, there's a lot of things that nature has to offer to you in that time, right? And as such, the masculinity, the masculinity is tested the most during ages 12 and 18, right? After 18, you start becoming your vision becomes more narrow, and you take into consideration what you want, and you start to prioritize. But between that time, a friend can tell you anything, and you do it, right? So it is all I can say is that it was rough, man. It was rough being a Christian, and girls and everything, and parties, drinking, smoking, all of that. You can fall to that, right? And even some other acts, detestable, that I can't even talk about it right here, right? But some things that you the Lord in doing, right? So you just really have to be strong. And then at that point in time, I felt as if there were no other persons there, right? Because men, they were like say, all right, so I'm a Christian, you get what man say, and all right, so we'll show Christianity and thing, and we'll take it by force, and not like how I'm seeing these young men in my church today. They have WhatsApp so they can spread the word easily. At that time, a word of mouth, anything that you have to say in front of a crowd or to people, say how to, right? So it was definitely harder, but never stop being motivators and true Christians, right? And try to uplift somebody or tell somebody, say, your mom can pray, man. I remember praying for one of my friends in grade 9, right? And the only way that the person will allow me to pray for them, or a person will allow you to do something for them, is if they trust you to do it, right? So I saw that as the person confiding in me, right, to tell me about something for me to specifically pray for that. So stuff like that, it is rough, but I do, and I know for a fact that men can rise above all that peer pressure and do greater things, even at that age when puberty is kicking.
Yeah, and I must say, viewers, that this is something that I want young adults, especially teenagers, to pay special attention to, because oftentimes the peer pressure in high school is so hard, it's so challenging, that many of you feel as if you need to give into it, so you live a double standard life. You live one life at church or at home around your parents, but at school you are a totally different person. But here, Tyrise is saying to us that guess what? You can live a Christian life everywhere, even in school. It's really hard, and he's not saying that it's not challenging. He's not saying that or derogating the fact in any way. But what he's saying here is that as much as how there are challenges to these things, you can do it. He has done it. Others have done it. And here he's saying that you can do it. Right? So I want to ask you now, you have shed some light on your journey through Cornwall College. How was it academically for you? Was it challenging?
It was very challenging. Alright, it was very challenging. As I said to Sir Dermaine, is from grade 1 I've actually known the value of a dollar. And going to high school, it was no different. In grade 7 was the only time in my life that I got lunch money. Only time in my life, right? And in primary school as well, there were certain times when I didn't get lunch money, all of my fare, right? Nonetheless, still pushed through. In Cornwall, I can remember vividly. At that time, it was $70 to go to school, and I can remember only having $100 for months, right? $100 each day, right? Thank God for great friends. Thank God for the educational system of Jamaica, right? That continues to help youth.
You were a part student.
Yes, definitely, right? And sometimes it would be so embarrassing. And I can remember some of my friends be like, yo, never see you buy no lunch, You see what man say? I said, just cool, man. Not good. You see what man say? But you always have a grudge. Say, yo, great what you had to do with the schoolwork, man. I say, yeah, man. Schoolwork have to get done. You see what man say? So, nonetheless, even though I know that I didn't have the money, in the mornings, I know that, hey, a lot of them didn't have what I have. You see what I'm going to say? A lot of them didn't have that person saying, Tyrise, time for school, come and get your porridge and a nice callaloo sandwich, some saltfish, and some nice minty, and then in the evening, you know, you're going home to some rice and peas and some fried fish or some fried chicken. So during the days, it really didn't faze me, right? But sometimes knowing that other students have it and you don't, it can really start to impact you, and you start to question God and you question everything. You say, why do I have to go through this? Why does it have to be me? Right? Not having luxurious things, because getting $100, you can't buy anything, right? So why do I have to be the one to face this, right? But then I really had to remember the story of David, right? And how he matriculated to a higher position that God gave him. God gave him a kingdom he didn't build, right? And that to me was spectacular. That stood out to me, right? And stuff like that, it kept me going. When I left grade 11, I couldn't think about going to CompC. Couldn't. $100,000 for school fee? Oh man, crazy. Couldn't. And then I remember going to school and I said, you know what? I have to go to Parental Influence. I don't have another choice, and I'm not stopping from school. And I can remember going there and doing the interview, and then September the guidance counselor Cornwall.
Okay.
Right. The guidance counselor called me and said, all right, Tyrise, you know, you have a 2-year scholarship, right? And I said, old boy donated it to you. And I'm like, wow, really? She said, yeah, man, so you don't have to worry about school fee for the rest of the year, right? And that was taken care of. And then I remember graduation, that was taken care of as well, right? And then when I saw that kind of manifestation, I said, God, it really and truly looked like anything that I tried to do, you are there with me, right? And as such, I went on to being a part of the business club, right? Being a part of the business club, becoming the president for the company there, and just showing, trying to exercise my leadership, right? As God is developing me into becoming a better leader, right? And I have proven so many times that through that business club and through just persistency and being consistent with your perseverance, right, you can achieve so much. And I said to myself when I was younger, I said, hey, I want a visa by the age of 18, right? Got 2 visas by the age of 18, flew to 2 different countries by the age of 18, right? And that was just God. I didn't even have the first money, sir, to purchase the visa or the passport, but everything just came through just like that. And I said, God, wow, God is amazing.
Interesting. Tyrise, I really admire your story. I really, really appreciate the fact that you're sitting down here sharing this story with me and also with our viewers. Because when you hear people talk about having these struggles, you know, these background where they didn't have the money to go to school and they didn't have any, they didn't know how they were going to school, how they were going into college, they didn't have any lunch. Most times they hear it was from our grandparents. Not from us, because people constantly say probably my generation is the one before you, but people constantly, even my generation, persons would say that we are privileged. You know, persons would say that your generation is privileged. So the average person won't look at you and your generation and think that you struggled the way their generation did. But here you are saying that you didn't have any lunch money. You were on PATH program. And people looking at you would not be able to see that. But yet still, you excel. You did well in school with all of that trials and struggles and all of that hardship that you went through in your life. You still did well and continue to do well. So you went on to Montego Bay Community College. Oh, you did sixth form at Cornwall College.
At Cornwall.
Okay. And now you are at the first year at the University of the West Indies?
Yes, first year.
Okay, what is the experience like at UWE?
First of all, UWE is another challenge, right? But just like Cornwall, I will overcome with God by my side. The first thing why it's challenging is because I'm doing a degree that persons don't, it's not male oriented, right? And persons don't oftentimes see it as the ideal degree to be doing for males, whether in previous generations or years to come, right? And as such,
you want to tell our viewers what that degree is?
Alright, that degree, Sir Dermaine, is nursing, right? It's nursing, and when I remember telling persons that, hey, you know, I want to do nursing, be like, what? Nursing? You're mad? Why not just go to medicine? I said, no, man. No, nurses provide a different kind of care for patients, right? And I said, I want to be a part of that care, right? I want to exercise the smile that I have, you know, and I'll ensure that persons do feel good after every intervention at the hospital, right? And that is why I definitely chose nursing.
Yeah, that's an unusual thing. I know quite a few male nurses, but of course they are a minority because there's mostly female nurses that are in our society today. As a matter of fact, a doctor I heard, she said once that it's really hard to be a female doctor at the hospital because oftentimes people call the male nurses doctors and call the female doctors nurses. You know, because it's of our society or its culture really. You know, but that is commendable, and I particularly like your reason because oftentimes people, especially now, persons see those as career path, you know, or even a stepping stone to move forward, to go overseas and so on, you know, to make more money. But you see it bigger than that. You're seeing the bigger picture. You're seeing how you can affect somebody's life positively. You know, you talk about sharing a smile with somebody, you know, giving them a good experience in the during the course of the intervention. And I commend that. I really commend that, Tyrise, because oftentimes we find persons in these jobs. Some persons they enter it with good intentions and good heart, but after a while you find that you know, the system and the different challenges that come with it would cause them to get bitter. But I hope that doesn't happen with you. I hope that this enthusiasm that you have, it will continue. I am sure that you are a Christian young man in university. How do you balance your schoolwork? Because it is technical. I'm not going to ask if it's technical. I know it's technical going to university and you have your spiritual obligations at church. And it's not just working at church, but building your spirit, man, spending time with God. You know, how do you balance that? What advice can you give to our audience as to how to balance my academic and my spirituality? Sorry.
Alright, no problem. What I can safely say, I wouldn't say it's a routine, but what I try to do, right, is to have my devotions in the morning, right? I know that sometimes we are really caught up as Christians with our daily lives, right? Mine being UWE, and doing all the courses. What I can say is that sometimes I don't get the opportunity to sit down, right, and to really bask in the presence of God. Or what I do, however, is that almost every other hour within the day, I utter a prayer, right, wherever I am, right? And I think that sometimes we, especially if you go to church, sometimes you shouldn't. I don't like when persons say they feel burdened, right, because they don't follow with their routine. Because sometimes, you know, Sir Dermaine, we don't even follow the mere routines of our own lives, right? So you're just becoming a Christian, right? And you have all those other obligations. What I can safely say is that don't feel flustered, don't feel frustrated, right? But do what you can when you can, and you will grow. Because, as I said before, You can sometimes catch me reading my Bible, even in class, right? You can God can lead my spirit that, all right, while reading the Bible, this has popped up to me, this has come to me. I'm now understanding a book of the Bible better now, right? So anytime that you do it, right, because God understands you. You see, if you really take him into routine, sometimes routine can be bad for us, right? Routine sometimes develop into habits, right? And sometimes we're reading the word and we're just reading. Sometimes we're praying and we're just praying because what? If you pray 8 o'clock in the morning, come on, man. You pray right throughout the day, right? You read your word. If God said, take out your Bible and read it. That's why it's on my phone, right? God said, take out your Bible and read it. We read 2 verses right away. You see what I'm saying? So to also tie it in with my church obligations, I know that it is strenuous, but I try to make time for Bible studies, fellowship, church on Sunday. That is routine, right? I put that in my schedule. It can't too busy, so I can't come and youth fellowship. You hear what I'm saying? Right? And those are what I consider to be routine and fellowshipping with others. But my prayer life and my personal devotional life, it's an everyday, every hour, anytime, anywhere kind of thing for me. Right? So that is how I would encourage a person. Not to really schedule a time in the mornings or afternoon, even though you can if you want. I'm not discouraging that. Right? But oftentimes we stray away from these scheduling, right? Especially when they're rigorous. So find time for God any time of the day. Right, let him be your constant routine, right? And trust me, you'll be in a test and you say, oh, you say, he who started a great work in me will see me through the end, and boom, on the paper you come out, you smile. You see what I'm saying? So let it be every second, right?
And I like that. I think that is really profound, because oftentimes we match our life and our practices to routine. And especially our religious practices, if we're not careful, they are just that, religious practices, because they are routine. You schedule yourself to pray every morning at 8, and you read your Bible every afternoon at 9, every afternoon at 5, and you just see it as that. Hey, I have to pray, like there is nothing behind it, there is no heart behind it. You're doing it because it's on your timetable for the day. Yes, on the agenda for the day. Versus when you just spontaneously, just feel I need to connect to God. Just like how you like, I have to lick my friend today. I have to shout daddy. I have to give mommy a call. You just spontaneously have that thing inside of you that is so connected to God, where you just feel like I am calling out to God, not necessarily because I'm obligated to, but I'm doing it because my relationship with him calls me to, and I think that's a really profound statement, Tyrise. We have to sometimes just move away from routine and just, normally, just naturally develop a relationship with God. I don't call my wife because I'm obligated to call my wife. I call my wife because I want to call my wife. I have a relationship with her. I enjoy talking to her. Yeah. So that should be our drive and our practice to really just have that thirst to just go after God at any time of the day without feeling out of just obligation, like, oh God, we have to do this again.
Yeah, and I mean, I do have some friends now. I'm not discouraging them or telling them to stop their routine. But right, a relationship is different from a routine. And you just said it, right? With the wife's scenario, I think that's very cool. Right? And I mean, the relationship that you have, it should be built on more than just, all right, we go call you now and we go just losing and talk to you, right? So I mean, you don't want to ever give God some lousy worship. You want to spend time with him in spirit and in truth, just the same, right? So I don't know. I just really think God is there every step of the way, every second. So be with him every second, not just in the morning or the evening.
Yeah. How do you protect yourself though? and this is probably now going off to another topic, but and it's more of an intimate one. But how do you protect yourself as a Christian in university? We know what happened at university. We know how the girl them stay, and are you like you know, you are not you don't have the average Christian you look. You know, you have your rugged look, and I appreciate you look like me. So I appreciate that. With all of that, you know, you have to know protect yourself, because female will from time to time run in on you, or you yourself, you know, because you're a human being and you have natural urges towards female. So how do you protect yourself as a Christian young man from all of these things?
Alright, viewers, answer to me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm the perfect Christian. I would never do that. God knows that, so it doesn't make sense. I lie. Right? What I can share with people, right, is that you do fall, right? Sometimes you fall into your own desires, right? I've done detestable stuff, right? Stuff that I'm not proud of, right? But nonetheless, I've never stopped my relationship with God, right? I've never at any point in time say I don't want God to be working on me or in me or through me, right? Because every day one of my prayers that I try to pray every day, right, is for God to create in me a clean heart and purify me. God in my clerking song, I love that song, right? And the other thing is to use me to do what He wants to do today, right? So before everything I do, most things I pray about it, right? Quick word of prayer. And what I can say to the viewers, right, and other young persons, is that we understand that you do fall. I understand that you do fall. I fall in a lot of times, right? Doing so many stuff, right? But it is never for you to stay down. It was never for me to stay down, right? It is for me to learn, so that even in a medium like this, I can sit here and encourage somebody and say, keep on pressing on. Don't give up. I have friends, right? And I build a true relationship with the persons at my church, right? So that I am able to say, all right, I have somebody to talk to. I have somebody to reason with, especially about certain things that you're going through, certain things that you're deeply hurting about, and you want to say, God, I am sorry, right? So you can't share that. You can't share that with everybody, right? So I urge persons, and I do implore the youth to have somebody, an accountability partner, fantastic, that you can go to and say, hey, you know, I did this, and they say, what? And they can come to you and say that, you know, that I did this, and you say, what? You saw me, I said, and then after saying what, it comes with a word of encouragement. It comes with a motivational speech that says, yo, don't give up, man. You know, so that happened, but you can still push through, right? And being in university now, understanding and having a better reasonability, I do understand that, hey, right, you can fall, but you can get back up, and you can be a true warrior for Christ, and you can live for Christ, right? Sometimes you don't do what you're supposed to do, right, as the Spirit leads you, but nonetheless, don't stop asking God to intervene in your life. But God wants us to have a heart that is willing, and that is where your worship, your testimony, your motivation to somebody can come from. And that is where mine has come from. And through those experiences, I can share them personally with persons and say, if you're going through this, I've been through it already, and hey, this is what I can recommend, right? And that is what I would say to persons.
I really appreciate that, and I want to personally say thanks for your vulnerability, for really opening up and sharing this, because not often, especially on platforms like these, you'll find persons really ready to open and share, what you have shared a while ago. Oftentimes, persons want to reserve that for probably more private moments, or even to just keep as their personal secrets. So I am really happy, and I commend you for that, and also using it as a tool to encourage others, to know that guess what, we from time to time will mess up. You have messed up, but don't stay down. I have heard university students such as yourself, feel the need, because I know a lot of university students who will leave the local church very passionate and active in their local church, and go off to universities, and then they got lost. They probably get exposed to sex, drugs, and all that. The different stuff that come with university.
Can I just quickly say, Sir Dermaine, that was one of the reasons why I didn't go to Mona. Right, that is one of the reasons why I stayed at the Western campus. Right, because I know that going there, right, I would be exposed to a lot of these things, right? A lot of things that persons see as is the trending thing. But you through your personal conviction, you know that, hey, I know that a trending over there, so that a trend got hell. You see what I'm saying? So you know. So you see when you are able to see what can happen, right, or what may happen, and you have the ability, knowing within yourself how you can react to a certain situation, and you say, all right, God, tell you what, you not think over that, you not think going over there something. I'm going to stay here, and that is what I did. I stayed on this campus because I know that, hey, have all of those peer pressure to deal with, right? And I don't have a lot of a lot of other things to say. All right, you have to try this, So I stayed here just to say staying out of harm's way.
Yeah, and that is good. If I may finish what I was saying before, I know a lot of students that will go off to university and they backslide. As a matter of fact, I think the last survey that I heard showed that 75% of Christian young adults that goes off into university in the first year, the first semester, they backslide, and that pain my heart. That really, really pain my heart, and that is why I am as passionate as I am for young people, because I know what the world is offering them. I've experienced it, and I know what can happen. So from my experience, I share with other young people, and you are here sharing your experience as well with those who are probably at your stage or will be at your stage soon, or even past your stage, probably at the even final year in university, to let them know you have messed up, but for God's sake, man, you don't have to stay there. The love of God can still reach you. It's still extending to you, and it's calling you to come. So don't give up. Don't give up. And this is not a license to mess up, but this is saying to you, get up, and continue. So thank you for your honesty. Thank you so much.
No problem, sir.
For your honesty. I want you to finally to share with me. You have done CXC not so long ago. It's the first year of university, so about 2 years ago you have done CXC.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years
ago. Yeah. So, what advice will you give, or can you give, to those students now who are going to transition into CXC? We know that the COVID is really a major factor that's affecting many persons, especially some of our students. But what advice can you give to them to encourage them going into CXC in the next month or so?
Alright, what I can say for those persons, first, find what motivates you. Ensure that you have something that is motivating you, right? Because that is where true success can come from, right? And whenever you think about studying, right, think about how after studying and doing that exam, right, what you can offer to the world after that, right? And what you want to offer yourself, right? Yourself first, then the world after, right? What I would say, be diligent in your studies, right? If you love to study in the morning, wake up early and study, right? If it is in the daytime, no problem, do that just the same, right? Build connections with persons that want to strive as well. Very important. Build connection with persons that want to see the best for you, right? So you know that. Hey,
So not study buddy, study partner.
pardon. For sure, for sure. Because even though at university I have some girlfriends, right? And wow, they are just there for me, right? So find persons that have the same enthusiasm about education that you have, right? And then from there, I know that once you are constantly being motivated, once you constantly motivate them, and that is reciprocated from both ends, then I know that studying can become easier for you, right? Remembering things it is done more in a fun way. Sometimes competition is good too. It really helps, and just continue. I mean, whatever works for you, just be consistent in it, right? Whatever works for you, study hard.
Praise God. All right, so Tyrise, I want to personally say thank you so much for opening up. Thank you for sharing with us today and H.Y.P.E, for the Yutes Promoting Education.
Definitely.
It's really, really important that we understand that there can be a balance between your spirituality and your academic life, and that is what H.Y.P.E is here to promote.
Hype.
So guys, I really hope that you were edified from the content today. I'm going to be inviting persons now to just go ahead and click the subscription button. Go ahead and click the notification bell that's beside it. Leave a comment and a like as well. I'm asking that you share this content with someone who you know that this particular content will be able to help. Also, I will be putting here in the video, you will be seeing a link. That link will take you over to our previous video with Dana Shea McIntosh, where she shared about her experience as an H.Y.P.E student and a Holy Youth Promoting Education. So guys, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Continue to stay tuned to this our channel, The Church. God bless you. Have a good one.